I'm not a C type of student. And, student athlete is something that our coaches preach a lot about. Being a student athlete, handling our grades, and I work outside of football, and that comes first. So before I can hit the field, I gotta make sure my academics is squared away, and that's something that I truly take from Coach B's mouth. He says graduation is the number one goal of the program at OU, and that's something that I'm going to truly put my full focus in doing and making sure that I graduate with a good degree.
What gets you on the field? You think what has to happen for you to not either starting or not start rotation? What gets you on the field? You think this season?
Definitely handling my business. I got to limit the amount of errors I make. As a freshman, that's something that people tend to do is make mistakes. But if I want to see the field, I know that's something that I got to limit, and I have very small room for error as it comes to technique. So I just got to make sure I stay on top of things like that. Learning the playbook, staying in that is definitely an example of something that I could do to handle myself. Make sure I take care of my body, eating the right food, sleeping, things like that. And taking care of my academics too. I don't want to have anything to do off the field, limit my play on the field. So that's something that I definitely keep in mind every day as season approaches.
You talk academics a lot. You know what you want to major in?
So they don't offer the major that I intended to study, which is neurology. So I want to study in biology instead, and hopefully get into medical school one day, so that way I can become a neurosurgeon.
Found for me, who do you admire? Any D tackle, pro, college, whatever you? I like to play like him. Anybody that jumps out at you?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I love watching football, and so I see things that everyone does that I like about their ball game, and there's a lot of players that I can say, but one specific person, I feel like there's not one specific person that I really would say that to. There's a numerous amount of good players around the league, former and current, that that I really look up to, and I try to at least model some top of my game after.
Good job, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There's been, obviously people question sometimes your way. You've heard it even during your recruitment, talk about it extensively. What did you come in weighing at, and where are you weighing now?
Coming in, I honestly don't know where I was at. I was somewhere, I think 275 to 280. Now, I'm the most I've ever weighed. I'm still in the 80s, but we got a goal to get up there pretty heavy. So it's definitely gonna put on a good weight. I've been moving faster than what I was at IMG, which is kind of crazy. I was 10 pounds under, and the weight's just been coming. It's been moving well. I'm glad to be, at the place like this, to where the nutrition is available for me to, definitely have that body change that's necessary for me to be SEC ready.
Is it, I guess, a relief that you have 5-6 months before you have to hit that? Jaden says D tackle's got to be 300 pounds. That's what they want you at. When they told you that, I guess first was that just like, whoa, kind of a shocker to you, but. And then also, is it a relief that you have 6 months to get to that?
Definitely. I talk to Jaden about that all the time, but I've never been close to 300 pounds at all my whole life. He's been over 300 before, and so I thought the transition for him would be a little bit easier. But for me, I got to make sure that I'm putting the right food in my body, so that way the weight that I put on is not such a bad weight to where it affects my play, but it boosts the level that I play at. Whether it be my speed, my flexibility, my agility, anything that pertains to my work on the field. I just wanted to make sure once I put the weight on, it's going to be a good weight to where I can be the best version of myself.
You're rather young though, aren't you? Aren't you a young freshman? How old are you?
18.
18?
Yeah.
So, and you just turned 18, right?
Yeah.
So, have they talked to you about how long it takes to get to that point for some people, or is it frustrating for you to see him putting on the weight fairly easy and you just kind of it takes time for you, a lot harder work for you?
I wouldn't say it's frustrating. Everyone has their own race to run. That's something that Coach preaches all the time, pretty much to us. And so, whether it come today or in the next few months, I'm gonna definitely try to take a pound a day as it comes, but I'm not going to just rush it, but I'm also not too worried about going slow either. I'm just making sure that I build daily the muscle that it needs, that I need, so I can be great.
You arrived in January. You started your winter workouts. Coaches stations were just the past week. Can you talk about that and just the grind that it has been over the last 3 weeks for you guys?
It's definitely been different. I didn't know what to expect. It's my first season of college football, and Schmitty's definitely tough. I remember there was one workout where it was tough. It was hard to finish, but one thing that really stuck with me is seeing that guys, still pushing even though it was tough. It gave me a second gear, the second gear that I needed to finish to the best of my ability, and I did. I excelled. I'm still, taking it as it comes, but the workouts are definitely something that I enjoy doing. I can see that I'm improving, whether it be, just finishing a little bit quicker or having no errors when it comes to the drills. It's constant improvement daily that I need to make sure that I take no steps backwards, and that's something that as a D-line group that we're all doing and we're planning to keep going forward.
For you, obviously, in heading into spring ball, it starts next week. What's your goals for you? Like, what do you want to accomplish during those 15 practices heading into the spring game?
For me, man, it's definitely just staying healthy. I want to make sure I'm healthy come the season. I want to make sure that I have nothing to limit my playing ability. I don't want to have no issues at all after the spring ball's over. And just making sure, I learn the playbook daily. I'm improving in the weight room, getting stronger. Those are my goals so far that I've set. And just as the spring comes, I want to make sure that, everything that I can do to get on the field early, I'm going to do.
David, it's been some time since someone's had the expectations that you have on the defensive line. How have you maybe embraced those so far?
The expectations, there's something that I can definitely see. I feel it. I hear it a lot. And, pressure only does one or two things. It either, bust pipes or make diamonds. And so I feel that as the pressure comes, I'm just keep being the stoner that I am and becoming to start shining as a diamond that I can be. Expectations are something that I'm not new to, and so I'm definitely going to make sure that I do everything I can to live up to the expectations I set for myself, because at the end of the day, my expectations for myself are pretty much higher than the expectations that I hear from or see from anyone else. Another thing though is that I gotta make sure I'm staying humble, because humility is something that everyone needs. I don't want to get too big of a head as the process goes on, and just making sure I keep my head low, working hard. And that's all I really can do. I'm a freshman, but I definitely want to play early, and I see that it's something that I can do if I handle the business that I need to handle.
You mentioned your own personal expectations. What are those? What are your expectations for yourself in your first year here?
It's a good question. It's a lot of expectations that I've set. I'm grateful to be at a place like OU to where I can have the expectations set. The reason why I chose this school is because of the rich history that they have. And all I really can say is that I want to get back to where the history was, and start my own chapter of the football program to where, the days of the Sooner Nation is talked about for years to come.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you.
How do you block out all the noise? You talked about the expectations and you say you hear it, but how do you block it out and just keep your head down, keep grinding?
Man, it's not so much as blocking it out, but if I feed off the energy that I provide, that's provided from the expectations. It gives me motivation, because I have a family that at the end of the day that looks up to me, my little brother, my sisters. I got to make sure at the end of the day that they're okay, and that's something that that drives me every day, whether it be just taking another step forward or whether it be crawling another inch. It's something that is definitely expected from myself and my family. I love those guys. I love every inch one of them with the utmost fullness of my heart, and so it's just something that, as the expectation comes, I can't fail. I have no choice but to succeed.
Appreciate it, Dave.